So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the
It was at this moment that
Maddie knew she
up.
Hello guys, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be all about the Surface Go, which I have right here. Now, this video is most definitely not going to be very technical. I'm most definitely not a tech or gadget expert. But this review will be from the student's point of view, and my impression of the Surface Go is that its main target audience is students basically who don't have much money but we still want a decent laptop. Now the Surface Go, I believe, is for students who want that perfect two-in-one convertible device. So it's basically a tablet and you can attach a keyboard onto it. I'll get onto that later. Microsoft has provided a lot of additional little accessories that can go with the Surface Go, just to make it a proper two-in-one laptop tablet experience. Now the Surface Go is by no means cheap. It's not the cheapest tablet out there. You can get pretty decent laptops for the price that you pay for the Surface Go. But I feel that the Surface Go is really worthwhile and worth the money for people who just want one device that does everything. So one device from the student's point of view, so one device where you can write your essays, you can do your academic reading on, but it also is a two-in-one and you can use it to watch Netflix, watch movies, watch YouTube. Netflix and writing essays is basically a student's life in a nutshell. I truly believe the Surface Go is that perfect device, the best device out there in the market, in terms of when you use it as a laptop, it feels like a laptop, and when you use it as a tablet, it feels like a tablet, and you don't get that clash like you do with other two-in-one convertible devices, where when you use it as a laptop, you kind of often feel like you're using a tablet and not a proper laptop, and that's just not the case here with the Surface Go. As soon as you switch it to tablet mode, you feel like it's a tablet. You can watch Netflix on it, nice. And as soon as you pop the keyboard onto it, it's a laptop, and you just completely forget about that it can become a tablet. And that's one of the things I really love about the Surface Go. But without further ado, in the following video, I will cover topics such as price, weight, how practical the device is. As a student, does it meet all my requirements? Does it meet all my needs? Is it budget friendly? All these things I will cover in the video. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe down below and give this video a big thumbs up if you like it.
So point number one, is this practical? Now from a student's perspective, this device is most definitely practical. It's 0.52 kg or 1.15 pounds of weight, and its 10-inch display makes it so easy to carry around with you in your bag all day on campus without, getting back problems. As you can see here, it's also super easy to tidy away. It takes seconds. When a lecture finishes or something like that, you're always the first to be packed away and ready to go to your next lecture. Now I know with its 10-inch display screen, most people would say it's just too small to be a laptop for uni at least, but honestly, in my experience, you just get used to it and you don't feel the difference with a bigger laptop, for example. And the screen is big enough for me. You can easily enlarge things on the screen to do your reading, and I just haven't found it a problem. Of course, when it comes to using the keyboard, maybe people with bigger hands might struggle a bit to get used to the keyboard, but it honestly doesn't bother me, and I feel like it's something you can get used to over time. So now I'm getting into how the device looks and feels. So by the images here, you can see that the device looks very professional, very well made. It feels very well made, very well polished and everything. In the hand, very smooth, and I particularly love how the device does not get warm at all. After hours and hours of usage, after hours and hours of revision and reading, I can safely say the device does not get very warm at all. It's an acceptable warmth, if that makes any sense. I also understand that the quite thick bezels around the screen of the device may bother some people, but honestly it doesn't bother me at all. I actually find it quite useful as it's kind of a space for me to put my fingers on when I'm holding it like a tablet. So now we come on to the point of how sturdy the device is, how comfortable it is to use both in laptop mode and in tablet mode. And as you can see here, the device's stand is incredibly sturdy. I'm giving it here quite a good push with a good amount of pressure, and it is not moving at all. In terms of, is it lappable? Most definitely. You can most definitely put it on your lap. It is comfortable. The stand on the back of the device, it does not feel uncomfortable. It does not hurt on your legs. It does not push into your legs when you're typing. It is very comfortable to use on the desk, but also as a student, I'm quite often find myself on my bed doing some work. So as you can see here, just sitting down with it on my lap, I'm very comfortable and can easily get on with my 5 assignments that I do the next day. When it's in tablet mode, it's also very comfortable and easy to use. As you can see here, I can use the stand at the back to hold it, or I can just pop the stand away and use it as a normal tablet. It's not too heavy to carry, it's very comfortable just to put on your lap, etc. When it comes to the Surface Go's cameras, it has a 5 megapixel camera on the front and an 8 megapixel camera on the back. So here I've just opened up the camera app on the device, and I have to say that the rear camera, it's definitely got good quality, although the one thing I hate is that obviously when I focus in on something in the middle it's quite good, but then when I try and focus in on something in the back, there's this really bright light that always appears. And here's an example of an image taken with the device. In terms of recording, it's got quite good recording. The audio is not the best, but it's honestly sufficient. In terms of a student, it's honestly all you want. It's definitely good enough to record lectures and notes. And if you use OneNote to take electronic notes, there's also an option available to take a picture with the device, which is directly loaded on to your OneNote notes. And there's me just testing out the video camera quality on the front-facing camera. And here's the video footage from the device. Yes, I can definitely say that the camera quality on the front-facing camera is not the best. It's not as good as the rear camera, but it will do for things like online classes, etc. It's got a good enough, decent quality, enough for a student. Now I have the cheapest version of the Surface Go, which is the 4GB RAM and 64GB storage, because I'm a broke student. But you can also opt for the more expensive, higher spec version, which is 8GB of RAM with 128GB of storage. But even though I have the cheaper version, I find that it still loads everything quite well. As you can see here, I'm just scrolling through and there's not much lag when I scroll through. However, in terms of when I try and load tabs like YouTube, it does take a little while to load, as you can see here. But it's only a few seconds, it's not a whole bunch of time, so it's good enough for me. Many people are also concerned that such a small device, which is also the lowest spec available, will not do the same job as an ordinary laptop. It cannot handle it, but as you can see here, I'm playing Netflix with a whole bunch of tabs open and it's still working fine. I don't experience much lag to it. There is a little bit of lag here and there, but it's nothing that I can't survive. I also like the feature that if you pull down on the corner there, you can see everything that you have open and really quickly switch between things. And as a student, you always have reading, but then you also have a Word document open whilst you write your essay. So you need all these things really easy to switch in between. In terms of ports, the Surface Go has one headphone jack, one USB-C port, one Surface connector, and it also has a microSD slot at the back if you want to expand the memory of the device. And what I like about the Surface Go is that this microSD can also not only be used to store pictures, etc., but you can also store apps on it to extend the actual internal memory of the device. When it comes to charging, the Surface Go is charged through the Surface connector. Now, this Surface connector is quite strong, as you can see, if you tug on it down or up, but when you tug on it to the side or when you're moving your laptop and it's connected into charge, I find that it becomes unconnected really easily. The charger falls out really easily, so that's one downside of this. And in terms of battery life, the device does last quite a bit on one charge. I think sufficient for a student, as in most libraries they have plugs, etc. Now, in terms of pricing, like I said in the intro, the Surface Go isn't the cheapest of tablets out there, but it depends how badly you want to substitute your multiple devices for just that one perfect device that truly feels like a tablet and a laptop all in one. I've just gone on the Microsoft website specifically for the Surface Go product, and as you can see, the cheaper version is quite a lot cheaper at $379 compared to the more expensive version at $509. There is also now the option to buy the higher spec tablet but with 4G for the same price. These prices also don't include the price of the Microsoft accessories that are available. And here I've just checked them out, and I see that the Microsoft Arc mouse is around £80, while the Surface Pen is around £100. And finally, the type cover for the Surface Go is around £130. Since the Surface Go only has one USB-C port, you're going to need an adapter or the Surface Dock, which comes in at around $190. Unfortunately, not very cheap at all if you're on a budget and a broke student. However, if you're a broke student like me and can't afford all those expensive proper Microsoft accessories, I've got linked down below all the cheaper Amazon versions that I use. So here is the adapter, and it has so many ports, I can connect anything onto it. So here I am just demonstrating how it works. So I just connect it like that onto the USB-C port, and then I connect my device onto that, and it only takes a few seconds to recognize it before it pops up on the screen that it's connected there. For a cheaper alternative to the keyboard, I will also link this down below. I absolutely love this keyboard, and one of the big hates that the original Microsoft keyboard gets is that the actual keys is just far too small and there's no area really for the trackpad, and it's just really uncomfortable to use. But this keyboard, I love it because it has much bigger space for the keys and much easier typing experience with it. And it also changes colors, which I absolutely love, and I can change it to my mood on the day.
So thank you very much for watching the video, guys. I really hope it was insightful for you, was useful for you, and if there's any topics that I haven't covered, any questions that I haven't answered, please feel free to comment down below any questions you have, and I will happily reply to them. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.